Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra and this is Market Today, a show where we'll help you understand the closing action on the D Street, the last half an hour of trade, and how should you look at the market moves right now, the sectors and the stocks that are in buzzing space, as well as what should your strategy be in the markets currently. Joining us is also a very special guest. Kranthi Bathini joins in. He's the equity strategist at WealthMills Securities, who will be telling us everything about the stock market move right now. Good afternoon, Kranthi, and thank you so much for taking the time out. Just to brief up to offer all our viewers, the markets have come off the day's high point already. We are now hovering around 21,551 odd levels, about 38 points higher in trade as far as the Nifty is concerned. Although most of the stocks on the Nifty index are still managing to pull up gains, some of them have actually ended into the losses. Where is the pressure building up from? When we look at the sectoral action, you will clearly see it's the Nifty Bank that's coming under pressure. 0.4% of a decline for the Nifty Bank. This index was handsomely up in trade in the first 1 hour of trade, but soon after we've actually seen the PSU banks, private banks, financial services, all the three constituents of the Nifty Bank slip into the red zone. So that's the index that's in pain. The FMCG index has also now slipped into the red with slight losses coming through. It's the IT index that was the top moving index in the first 1 hour of trade in the morning, but now we've seen that there are some profit booking that's being seen on Nifty IT as well from those levels. So only a 0.5% of gain still remains on the Nifty IT index. The broader market still up into the green, so providing some bit of a respite is the realty space that's buzzing very, very sharply right now. The index that's up by 2.5% in trade. The index that we briefly discussed in the morning trading action as well, just when the action was picking up. But right now it's at the highest point of the day, 2.6% higher for the Nifty Realty at 867 odd levels right now. In terms of the stocks that are moving in trade today, on the Nifty you have Hero MotoCorp as the top moving stock today, 2.5% higher. Adani Ports also up by 2.5%. You have Apollo Hospitals, SBI Life, Bajaj Auto and Adani Enterprises. Some of these stocks that are buzzing in trade in the Nifty space as well. On the Nifty 500 basket, you have IRB Infrastructure that's now up 9.5%. Borosil Renewables 9% up in trade. Gujarat State Fertilizers 6.5% higher. Easy Trip Planners, the index, the stock that continues to move up higher. There's an equity exchange of hands as well that's taken place, a block deal over there, 5.7% higher in trade, and Nika shares that are buzzing by 5.5% odd as well. Kranthi, to you first, how are you analyzing the market texture at the moment? 7 to 8 days in the New Year's, and we've seen a volatile trading action already. Of course, the markets, especially the Nifty, is not able to sustain at the higher levels, and we also saw the Nifty testing 21,500 even yesterday on an intraday basis. Where do you think the markets are heading? Are we continuing to see more volatility as we going forward?
Yes, actually, definitely markets are in a firm uptrend only, but we can see here and there some kind of profit booking that's coming. As long as Nifty is holding 21,500 levels, the setup of the market is quite strong. What we can see is definitely Indian market is a buy and dips market, but this time investors need to sell on rallies also sometimes wherever the excesses are built up in their portfolios. It's better to take some portion of profits at this point of time. We are heading into the earnings season right now. Definitely the earnings of the companies definitely going to give some direction to the stocks going forward. Of course, there are Fed action also. We are going to see the data that's coming from US with respect to the consumer data and also the unemployment job data. These are the points, firm points for the Fed decisions going forward. At this time, what the strategy investors need to do? Definitely at the bottom end of the market, every time what we are witnessing is some kind of buying interest is emerging. We were down yesterday on Nifty more than 150 points. We can see renewed buying is emerging. It's completely a liquidity-led market. Liquidity is coming into the market from all sides, both from the domestic as well as the foreign portfolio investors also at every day. But is the valuation stretched? I don't say the valuations are not stretched at this point of time. We are at a fairly valued zone, but there are some pockets where pockets of stocks and sectors, they look still interesting at this point of time also.
Okay. Let's discuss a few pockets then, and then we will get down to understanding a little bit about specific stocks from you, Mr. Bathini. First up, I want to discuss the entire IT pack with you because day after tomorrow onwards, we will see the earnings season kickstart for the IT majors. The tech stocks got in flavor across the globe today. We actually saw overnight action on Wall Street. Then we saw even the Asian markets, tech stocks also jumping higher, and the Indian markets also started off with a bang when it comes to the IT space. But as far as the earnings season goes, there is going to be a seasonality factor higher than usual furloughs as well that are going to be bothering the IT companies. What is your own sense of what should one do with the top companies first reporting their earnings? TCS, Infosys, that will start off the earnings season this time.
Sakshi, with respect to the bellwether companies like the large cap IT space is concerned, we can expect the worst is not over for these companies this quarter. We can see a subdued numbers, but the extremely important factor for the bellwether companies is we need to look forward for the forward guidance. How the coming quarters are looking forward for these companies? Is there any big order pipeline that lined up, and how the margin are going to be? These are the factors we need to wait and watch for the bellwether companies. But what's happening is we can see some kind of bottom fishing that's we witnessed in the large cap IT stock. Because, as I mentioned, it's a liquidity-led rally. The investors with a long-term time horizon, they started buying, doing bottom fishing with respect to the large cap IT stocks are concerned. It can be Infosys, Wipro, or in TCS also, we can see some kind of renewed buying is coming. Investors are, because of the strong business models, long-term investors are buying these stocks in a very staggered manner. Even we can see some kind of buying interest that's emerged in IT companies also from the domestic institutional investors also. So overall, they are in a trend, a neutral trend at this point of time. There is no need to hurry to buy the stock at this point of time. One need to have a staggered approach, buying these stocks at dips. But for the IT companies are concerned, we need to look forward for the next coming quarters, but the current quarter earnings can be subdued.
Okay, fair enough. Let's discuss the other space that is buzzing in trade and very hot over the last calendar year also, the realty space. It was firing away. We saw 80-85% of a surge coming in for the Nifty Realty. The first week of 2024, another 7% surge, and the second week is also running pretty strong for this one. What really is behind the strong move in the real estate space, and would you still advise investors to take a bet in some of the strong stocks here?
Sakshi, we have been discussing on your show many times with respect to the reality stocks are concerned. In fact, in the beginning of 2023 also we discussed reality stocks are going to outperform, and in the 23 the largest sectorial gainer on Nifty has been reality industry, and majority of the real estate stock, it can be the large cap reality stocks or the mid cap reality stocks have outperformed the market. The main reason we discussed a couple of times also, what we can see is we can see a renewed buying. That's what the consumer story in India, the consumption story in India, and also how the Indian pattern of investing in reality, we can clearly witness with the numbers coming from all the real estate companies' performance. Despite of normally we tend to see the real estate companies are interest rate sensitive, and last 1 year in 23 we can see how the interest rates moved across the globe, but Indian reality stocks have outperformed. The main reason for this outperformance, Sakshi, one thing is the domestic economy looks very strong, and also the Indian reality prices, when you compare with the global peers in the emerging market space, it looks the reality prices have been attractively placed at this point of time. And also, Sakshi, just for the matter of fact, we can see not only residential right now, last 1 quarter, if you see the companies which are into the commercial real estate also, they have been gaining momentum. We can see the new launches exclusively that comes for commercial real estate properties also, they have been booked and they have been gaining momentum at this point of time. That shows the real strength in Indian economy and the optimism of Indian consumers and investors. That's where the reality stocks have been outperforming. At this point of time, definitely there is some more legs for many stocks for this rally, and I can see the rally can be continued in the coming weeks also with respect to the reality index is concerned, Sakshi.
Okay, so that's as far as two pockets that we've already discussed: IT space ahead of earnings and the real estate space that is middle of a huge run up that we are witnessing, and a bull run in this real estate space as well. In fact, when we talk about some of the stocks that are buzzing in trade on the F&O space, you have DLF, that's 4.5% higher at 801 currently. So that stock is clearly firing away. You also have Godrej Properties 3.5% up in trade as well. Let's also look at some of the other interesting constituents that are in the winning space as far as the real estate space is concerned. You have Phoenix Mills 4.5% higher. You have Oberoi Realty, that's 3% up. Macrotech Developers, that's about 1% higher in trade as well. And all the constituents of the real estate space clearly buzzing. Let's now get into some of the stocks that are buzzing in trade, and I wanted to take your view. First up, on Easy Trip Planners. This stock has been clearly buzzing in trade of late. Today also, when we see the kind of levels we are seeing is around 45, 46 odd levels, 5.5% higher for this one. Last 2 to 3 days, amid the entire Maldives Lakshadweep controversy, we've actually seen Easy Trip Planners, despite cancellation of all the flight bookings to Maldives, this stock is completely firing away. The company's management is talking about country before business. There, however, just recently they also talked about raising funds as well. And I just wanted to take your view. How would you look at Easy Trip Planners, because it's a small ticket stock, and right now amid the clear 3 or 4 triggers that is helping the stock inch higher, is there a potential buying opportunity that investors can scout for in this stock?
Yeah, definitely, Sakshi. It looks very interesting. The stock has resilient in the range of 40 levels, and the current saga of news that has been helping the stock to inch forward. It's creating some kind of demand at the terminals, but the story is going to emerge over a period of time, given the kind of India's travel story is concerned, spending story is concerned, the discretionary spending is concerned. Definitely, Easy Trip Planners is better place. One can see the targets ranging around 55 to 60 levels in the coming quarters, Sakshi. One can buy the stock at every dip, given the kind of the current setup is concerned, Sakshi.
Okay. For investors with a very long-term view, 2 to 3 years, what is the kind of potential upside that one can hope to see in Easy Trip Planners, sir?
Sakshi, it's the setup looks very interesting at this point of time. I'm not want to give any kind of long-term target, but in the medium to short term, one can expect in the next couple of quarters, next 6 months, one can expect between 55 to 60 as the target. We need to see the regular earnings and how the demand is taking place in the coming quarters. That is extremely crucial for these companies.
Fair enough, sir. So 55 to 60, perhaps in a short to medium term, amid the kind of buzz that we are seeing, is looks interesting for Easy Trip Planners investors, and one can definitely look at this level also as an entry point right there. All right, let's talk about the other space that's very, very interesting at this point in time. And I wanted to discuss the life insurance space with you, because the December life insurance data has come out, where LIC's premium has risen by 94%. SBI Life sees a 21% growth as well. We've also seen several other companies coming out with their reports on this one too. For HDFC Life's premium, which has increased by 3.3% compared to last year. And then apart from that, ICICI Prudential Life Insurance has also seen a positive trend with a 3% increase in premium collection. And individual APE has also shown a growth of 12.6% for the company. How would you look at this entire space? Any top 1 or 2 counters that you are more positive on amid the life insurance space? Today we are seeing stocks like SBI Life in flavor, 2% higher in trade. But how would you really put the pecking order in terms of top 2 or 3 stocks in this space, sir?
Sakshi, on a lighter note, thank God, the big elephant in life insurance space, the much awaited life insurance corporation has been started moving for the investors in the life insurance space. That is a much awaited move in the LIC is concerned, because a lot of retail investors have invested in LIC during its IPO, and they are quite disappointed with the kind of performance the stock has exhibited in the past 1 year. Coming to the space, actually, for a longer term investors, definitely the space looks very interesting. Right now, what we are witnessing is the majority of the flows have been coming into the savings have been getting channelized with respect to the investing is concerned. They're coming into the mutual funds or coming into the direct stocks. Earlier couple of years back, the main crux of these life insurance companies' business was ULIP policies, which are portrayed as the key avenues for the investments. Right now, there is a shift of the investor psyche that the life insurance policies are right now treated as a risk premium policies, and people who want to go for risk, they're getting into the traditional term insurance plans. That's where we can see the numbers of these life insurance companies. The past 8 quarters have been subdued. But on a longer term basis, these term plans and the traditional endowment plans increases the profitability of these companies on a longer term basis. Even though you see the collection of revenues premiums looks less, but the margins in these products is compared to a higher note for these companies. So investors definitely with a longer term approach, they can buy names like the strong franchising models they have, like State Bank of India, State Bank of India's subsidiary, that is SBI Life and HDFC Life and ICICI Prudential Life. These stocks remains our favorites in this space. Some stocks have been doing extremely good, like SBI Life and all. One can hold on to these stocks. One need to see these stocks more on a longer term basis than sticking to these companies are trying to gauge these companies' performance. Just a couple of quarters is not a right exercise. One need to have a much longer term horizon. Definitely, investors who want to buy these stocks for a longer term horizon, they can choose any of these 3 stocks for a medium to longer term basis.
Okay, fair enough. Let's discuss more stock ideas as well with you. The other space that I wanted to discuss with you is the Adani Group of stocks, sir, and there is a reason for it. The Adani Group has committed an investment of over 40,000 odd crore rupees in Tamil Nadu via various the group companies as well, and this is amidst the latest event that was taking place in Tamil Nadu as of yesterday. Huge investment promises, be it in the area of renewable energy, in the area of cement, or in the areas of data centers. Huge, variety of job creations can perhaps be expected with this kind of an investment over the next 5 to 7 years coming in from the company. How would you, from the group companies, how would you look at the entire Adani Group right now? We've already seen the worst behind and the Supreme Court's verdict really triggering in a fresh momentum in the stocks. But now the companies are again focusing on the business and on expansion spree, on investments. How would you look at these companies?
Sakshi, the interesting thing I see in this entire saga of Adani Group shares, how it's emerged in the past 1 year, is the resilience. If at all any other country or any other group, if they would have gone through these kind of problems, that would have been a different issue. But what we can see is we are witnessing the light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, right now, where the light has come back for the investors. The stocks shown its resilience. Given the kind of the focused approach they have in every segment of their business, it can be the infrastructure, ports, data centers, green energy, power, all the segments of the cements, of the segments they operate. They're showing their strength and resilience in terms of the business models are concerned. But one concern for these, for the investors with respect to Adani Group shares are concerned, predominantly majority of the companies, the valuations looks very stretched. That is one thing. And also the high beta nature of these companies, that can be the key concern for the investors. So investors with high risk appetite, definitely they can buy the stocks names like Adani Ports, ACC, and Adani Enterprises at every dip. We can also see Adani Transmission like kind of shares which have corrected from a range of 4,000 to they corrected to range of 600, now trading at 1200, 11 to 1200 range. Adani Transmission, Adani Energy Solutions. That's what the name of the company is right now. So these pockets looks very interesting because we can see a renewed buying interest that's coming with respect to transmission business and power businesses are concerned. So it is stock specific at this point of time. We have seen some movement in Adani Total Gas also as they forward into the green hydrogen business also. So it will take these companies operates most of these names what we discussed. These companies operates with a long gestation period with respect to their revenue realization is concerned. So investors with high risk appetite definitely they can consider these kind of names for investing for medium to long term. But investors are traders, high risk appetite traders who are trading in the medium to short term. Definitely, stop losses need to be exercised. But overall, this is for the investors who like more volatility and want to take more risk. For those kind of risk profile, probably these kind of shares are suitable for the retail investors.
Okay, fair enough. Let me discuss one or two stocks quickly because we are just about 2 minutes away from the day's close. I'll want to discuss Nika with you. FSN e-commerce, 6% higher, 187 rupees currently. Again, the entire internet-based stocks theme is coming back in flavor with Zomato, Paytm, Policy Bazaar and Nika also showing some kind of buzz. Specifically for Nika, there has been much more trouble when it compares to the other internet-based stocks. Your own sense of how do you see the current momentum in Nika? Does this show promise or is this only a trading bet right now?
Sakshi, for me, the promise has to be in terms of the numbers. They have to still deliver in terms of their margin expansion and revenue and profitability. These are the key things we need to see. Right now, some kind of liquidity has been chasing these stocks because these stocks have been in a consolidation phase and they corrected a lot from its peak. So some kind of momentum has been building up with respect to these kind of names. We need to see the current quarter earnings, okay, just to arrive for any kind of serious investing proposition is concerned. Till the time, these stocks are going to be in a range bound at this point of time. Once we get a significant improvement in terms of their numbers, we can see some kind of rallies in the stocks at this point of time. These stocks are not suitable for, for the low risk appetite investors. Definitely this is for the high risk appetite investor proposition kind of stocks.
Okay, fair enough. Well, on that note, thank you so much, Mr. Bathini, for being with us on this special edition and discussing various pockets in the markets, the sectors and the stocks where you're bullish on currently. Many thanks. Good to have you with us on Business Today TV as is always.
Thank you, Sakshi. Always my pleasure to share my views.
Thank you. With that, let's quickly look at the markets as we wind down the edition as well as wind down the markets trading session too. 21,552 currently on the Nifty as the closing level, just about 39 points higher in trade. It's the Nifty Bank that did not provide support even today. Second day in a row, it has underperformed the benchmark indices. 47,228, so a 220 point of a loss for this one, 0.5% of a decline, and support did not come in from the private banks or the PSBO banks or the financial services for that matter as well. The next index that did not perform is the FMCG index. That continues to be a pain point for the markets. However, on the other side is the real estate sector that drove the markets higher, provided the support from below. 2.5% uptick for this one, the top moving sectoral index. Healthcare index followed, 1.1% higher. Autos about 1% higher. Metals also shown bright, almost 1% of an uptick for that one. The IT stocks continue to be in flavor right ahead of the key earnings season getting kick-started. The broader markets also ended higher by about 0.2% on the move on the upside. On the Nifty, you have Hero Moto, Adani Ports, SBI Life, Apollo Hospitals and Adani Enterprises as the top 5 movers on the Nifty pack. On the downside, however, the stocks that did not contribute, you had Britannia, Nestle, HDFC Bank, HDFC Life and Bajaj Finserv as among those that were the top laggards on the Nifty pack. On the F&O space, DLF topped the charts with a sharp move of 1.5%. Siemens followed a 4% uptick for that one. ABB India about a 4% uptick for this one too. Godrej Properties and Nalco were the other movers as far as the F&O space is concerned. From the Nifty 500 basket, you again had Borosil Renewables as a 10% move that topped the charts. IRB Infrastructure about a 9% of an uptick for that one. Gujarat State Fertilizers, Nika, Easy Trip Planners and Alok Industries as among the top 5 movers on the Nifty 500 basket as well. So that's as far as the markets were for you in today's trading session. Another day that had a rather lackluster trade, but some signs of a green tick coming in, definitely seeing some promise as we move forward into the week ahead going forward. Many thanks for tuning us.